Consumer price index in China rose only 0.1%, is the slowest rate in almost 2 years. Additionally, Bank of Canada increased the rate by 25 basis points. Hi, it's here Eli Weissman from Jet Direct Mortgage with your weekly market update. And stay tuned that after my 2 minutes video, I'm showing you a 3 minutes video from the Wall Street Journal on why the SEC is suing the two biggest crypto exchanges. Okay, as we reviewed the last week, this week we didn't have a lot of economic news. That's why it was a pretty boring week where nothing happened on the interest rate. We started at around 6.91 and we end the week at around 6.92. So the biggest really news of the week were the China's inflation, that it's the lowest that it has been a very long time. That's good because usually, again, inflation is something, if China suffers, the US suffers, all the world suffers pretty much in the same level. And Canada is still tightening the interest rate. So they're increasing still the interest, making the things a little bit tighter all over and all around. Now, nothing happening this week, but the next week is a huge week. So we have to monitor hugely. We have the CPI, we have the PPI, and we have the FOMC meeting. Please look at the following videos where I'm explaining you what's the CPI, what is the Philadelphia Fed Index. Everything is about inflation and about interest rate. The Consumer Price Index is a measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. It is used as an indicator of inflation or deflation in the economy. The CPI is most widely used measure of inflation, closely followed by policymakers, financial markets, businesses, and consumers. Thank you. The Philadelphia Fed Index is a monthly survey conducted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia that measures regional manufacturing conditions in the northeast of the United States. The survey asks participants about the direction of changes in their overall business activity, new orders, shipments and field orders, delivery times, inventories, employment, and prices. The index is calculated as a weighted average of these 9 indicators. A reading above 0 indicates expansion in the region's manufacturing sector, while a negative reading indicates a contraction. The index is closely watched by investors and economists as it provides an early indication of trends in the manufacturing sector. Thank you. So the expectancy right now is that 28% of economists are thinking that they're going to increase the interest rate by a quarter point instead of leaving it where it is right now. So stay tuned and let's see what's going to happen next week at the FOMC meeting. That will be on Wednesday. So every single day next week besides Monday is a day that we need to monitor the market. So please stay tuned now. I'm going to show you the video from the Wall Street Journal. Any of you that are investing in cryptocurrency, very scary investment. Thank you so much, and I see you at the next one. And please do not forget my 3 promises to you. We will close you on time. We will have great communication during the pre-approval process and during the mortgage process. And number 3, we will always reach out to your leads like a green on a pickle. Like that you can go and bring actually more leads and we can close more together. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
The Securities and Exchange Commission filed separate civil lawsuits against 2 major exchanges, Binance and Coinbase. Caitlin Ostroff covers cryptocurrencies for the Journal and explains the latest showdown between federal regulators and the industry's biggest players.
Binance is an international crypto exchange that was founded in 2017. The Securities and Exchange Commission sued Binance, saying that it was operating an illegal securities exchange in the US. And in doing so, it sued not just Binance's US entity and its global entity, but also Changpeng Zhao, who is the founder of Binance. In its lawsuit, the SEC said that Binance was offering tokens that were actually securities and that those were not registered as such. And because of that, Binance was basically operating a sort of black market for tokens that they were not supposed to be allowed to let users trade. The SEC also really dug into a lot of Binance's operations. Two of the firms that the SEC zeroed in on in the Binance complaint were called Merit Peak and Sigma Chain. These are two market makers that were owned and operated by Zhao, Binance's founder and CEO. And the SEC said that Sigma Chain, one of these so-called market-making firms which buys and sells cryptocurrencies, was doing that on Binance US, but trading a lot of the same funds. And so basically making it look like there was a bunch more trading than there actually was. They also say that there was the risk of funds being commingled on Binance US through the Merit Peak entity. And so they're saying that because of those two entities, users weren't fully aware of what was happening with their funds and what was potentially happening in the background. Binance has said that it intends to defend the platform vigorously. It has vehemently denied that there was ever any risk to customer funds, that it commingled assets. Not even a day later, there was a separate lawsuit that the SEC handed down against Coinbase, the largest US exchange. In their lawsuit against Coinbase, the SEC is saying that it also traded assets that should have been registered as securities, and because of that, Coinbase was operating an illegal securities exchange as well. In response to the charges, Coinbase has called for there to be more specific legislation regarding cryptocurrencies in Washington, D.C., and has said that it's going to continue to engage with legislators to actually get that legislation through Congress. So for Binance, the SEC is seeking for Zhao and his companies to not be able to do business in the US. It seems more likely that this litigation is going to drag out for a while. Unlike the Department of Justice, which can issue criminal charges, the SEC can really only do civil charges. At most, you could be looking at either a settlement or, if a judge rules in the SEC's favor, a monetary fine. Crypto has grown exponentially from when it was created and worth basically nothing in 2009, 2010 to where we are now, where it's a $1 trillion industry. The recent escalation in enforcement from the agency has certainly caught people's attention, and it does seem like they're starting to really go after not just small companies and projects as they have in the past, but really the biggest companies in the ecosystem.